Hello, and welcome to a short tutorial on how to set up moving camera shots. We're going to be doing stuff like panning shots, which is when the camera is stationary and moves around, or looks around, and tracking shots, which is when the camera goes from one point to another. Just a quick reminder of the controls. Z to go up and X to go down. Holding control will make the camera go slower, and holding shift will make the camera go faster. And holding alt will make the camera orbit, and using the scroll wheel will change the field of view. Now most of the work we're going to be doing is in this last section here called the graph editor, and you'll notice when you first go to there for the first time it's going to kind of be obscured. So click on the hand tool here and click and drag to the right, just so you can see the area around the playhead a bit easier. So first thing we want to do is still make sure the camera is selected here, is you want to position the camera so that it's at a starting point. And when you move the camera, you'll notice a little keyframe shows up here, and I'll get to that later. So just start up an initial starting point here and use the scroll wheel to change the scale of the time here. Now you'll want to kind of think about this backwards. You'll want to think about how much time will pass until the camera will end up where it's going. So let's say we want 5 seconds to pass until the camera gets to where we're going to place it later. So move the playhead 5 seconds ahead just by clicking and dragging on it. And now you want to move the camera so it's looking somewhere else. Say over here. Now if you hit up on the keyboard so that the playhead goes back at the very beginning of the shot, and hit spacebar to play, you'll notice over the course of 5 seconds the camera will move from where we started to where we put it. So let's go at the very beginning again. Let's just delete what we just did. So just right click on the keyframe and then hit delete. Let's do that with tracking shots. So set up an initial shot here where the playhead's at 0 seconds. And again, first you want to think about how much time will pass before the camera will get where it's going. So 4 seconds. And let's move the camera here. So at 4 seconds the camera will be here. And you can kind of see in the work camera here the path that the camera is going to travel. So hit up on the keyboard and hit play. So over the course of 4 seconds, it'll go from there to where it ended up. Now you'll notice the video is still playing here, but the camera is not doing anything, which is because we haven't set up anything more for the camera to do, which we can try now. So let's delete what we just did, and let's go back to panning shots. So let's set up, while the playhead's still at 0, set up the camera to be here. Let's say at 2 seconds we want the camera to be here, and we're going to add 2 more seconds. So at 4 seconds the camera will look here, and at 6 seconds let's say the camera looks here. So just hit up on the keyboard and hit play to see what happens. So you'll notice that the camera will hit all the points at the time that we set it to. Now a cool thing with these keyframes here is that you can click and drag them left and right on the timeline to adjust how fast it'll be for the camera to hit those points. So if we drag it to the left at 1 second, it'll obviously be faster because it'll only take 1 second for the camera to get there. Same with moving the camera, or the keyframe to the right. Now a quick shortcut to selecting multiple keyframes is if you have one selected and you hold shift and you click on another one, the ones between will also be selected, and you can click and drag multiple ones at the same time. Yep. So let's just delete these. You'll notice that the my differentiation between panning and tracking was kind of arbitrary there. you can do any kind of camera movement, and then go forward. Let's say we want the camera to go here, and at 8 seconds, let's say we want the camera to move here. Any kind of camera movements, Source Filmmaker will interpolate a path between all of them, so it doesn't have to be just panning or just tracking. Source Filmmaker will just do a smooth transition between every point. So that's how you kind of get fancier shots. And you'll notice when there is when there are multiple points, it starts making a smooth transition between all of them, as opposed to having a linear constant speed, which happens when you have only 2 points. So remember, we had like here, and then we had this pan here. It'll have a constant speed, so there's no acceleration or deceleration going on. It's just a constant speed, start and stop. If we have multiple points, by default, it'll start making a smoother transition between them, which I should probably just get to in another video. But real quickly, if you want a constant speed between all shots, just select the keyframe, or the keyframes that you want affected, and then hit this first button here, which will make it go back to a linear speed. So yeah, those are some basic things to do. Hopefully that helps. Leave a comment about anything more you want to see. Thanks.